He helped the alien princesses, but their mother declared him their mate. The twin sons of Nerythia bathed the royal palace in golden light as Kael adjusted his grip on the stretcher, trying not to stumble over the polished obsidian floor. The two princesses, Lyra and Selene, hovered between unconsciousness and feverish panic, their delicate wings trembling with every movement. He had barely arrived on the planet 2 days ago, and already he was knee-deep in a situation he barely understood. The accident had been catastrophic. A rogue energy storm had struck the royal gardens while the princesses were playing, leaving Lyra with a scorched wing and Selene with a fractured leg. Kael, a human from Earth who had been studying alien flora on Nerythia, had rushed to help when palace guards hesitated, unsure how to handle a foreigner with medical training. His calm hands and steady voice had soothed the panicked princesses, and by the time the royal medic arrived, Kael had already stabilized them. But the gratitude he received from the girls was nothing compared to the way their mother, Queen Althea, looked at him now. Standing tall and regal, with iridescent scales reflecting the twin suns, she approached the makeshift infirmary with measured steps. Her eyes, sharp and commanding, fixed on Kael in a way that made his pulse quicken. "You've done more than any court healer could," she said, her voice low and melodic. "Lyra and Selene are alive because of you." Kael swallowed. I just did what anyone would do. They were hurt. I couldn't just." Althea raised a hand, cutting him off. "No, this was not just skill, Kael. You risked yourself. That is why, according to the customs of my people." She paused, letting the weight of her words sink in. "You are now declared their mate." Kael froze. The room seemed to shrink around him. "A mate? But I don't even there, you mean the princesses." Althea's expression softened but remained firm. "It is not the princesses themselves who decide this, Kael. Their mother chooses, for their protection and the stability of our bloodline. You have shown bravery, kindness, and strength. These are qualities a mate must possess." Kael's mind spun. He had never imagined that helping 2 injured alien girls could lead to anything like this. He opened his mouth to protest, but the princesses' weak voices stopped him. "Kael," Lyra whispered, opening her golden eyes. "You helped us, thank you." Selene, despite her fractured leg, reached out a trembling hand. We trust you." Kael looked at them, so small, so fragile, yet so undeniably royal. The warmth in their eyes made his chest tighten. Maybe he could accept this. But how could he possibly navigate an alien court, 2 young princesses, and a mother who expected him to claim them as his own? Over the next few days, Kael learned the ways of Nerythia's royal court. He helped the princesses with their recovery, crafting devices to support Selene's leg and teaching Lyra exercises to strengthen her wings. Everywhere he went, whispers followed. Humans were rare, and a human-declared mate of royal heirs was unprecedented. Yet Althea remained by his side, her gaze lingering on him with a mixture of expectation and pride. One evening, as the twin suns dipped below the horizon, casting the palace in shades of violet and rose, Kael sat with Lyra and Selene in the garden. The air was fragrant with alien blooms, and the soft hum of bioluminescent insects created a strange serenity. "Do you really have to call me your mate?" Kael asked cautiously, glancing at Althea who was nearby, observing but silent. Lyra tilted her head, her wings fluttering slightly. "Mother says it's for our safety, but I feel safe with you." Selene nodded. "I don't know what it means yet, but I trust you, Kael. That's what matters." Kael's heart ached at their innocence and trust. He realized then that being their mate wasn't about possession or obligation. It was about protection, care, and an unspoken bond that went deeper than any ceremony. Days later, a formal court gathering was held. The alien nobles, adorned in crystalline robes and scales shimmering like starlight, watched intently as Queen Althea approached Kael and the princesses. "Today," she announced, her voice resonating through the grand hall, "Kael, who risked his life for my daughters, stands as their chosen mate. This bond is sacred, and the safety of Nerythia shall rest in the hands of one who has proven his courage." The princesses stepped forward, each taking one of Kael's hands. "We accept you," they said in unison. Kael looked around the hall, seeing skepticism and awe in equal measure. He met Althea's gaze and nodded. I accept," he said. His voice steady despite the whirlwind of emotions inside him. The queen smiled, a rare warmth softening her usually stoic features. "Then let it be known. Kael of Earth, protector and mate, you shall watch over Lyra and Selene. Together, you will ensure their happiness and the prosperity of our people." As the twin suns rose the next day, Kael walked with the princesses through the palace gardens. Lyra's wing brushed against his arm, and Selene leaned slightly on his shoulder. For the first time since arriving on Nerythia, Kael felt a sense of belonging, not just as a visitor or healer, but as a part of something larger than himself. He had come to help two injured alien girls. But in doing so, he had found a bond that transcended worlds, cultures, and species, a bond that perhaps would last a lifetime. And as Queen Althea watched from her balcony, a faint smile graced her lips. She had chosen wisely. Days later, a grand ceremony was held in the heart of the palace. The alien nobles, their crystalline robes glittering under the twin suns, watched intently as Queen Althea approached Kael and the princesses. "Kael," she announced, her voice ringing with authority, "you have risked your life for my daughters. For this you are declared their mate. This bond is sacred, and the safety of Nerythia rests in your hands." Lyra and Selene stepped forward, each taking one of Kael's hands. Their wings brushed against his arms, and despite their injuries, their eyes shone with trust and gratitude. "We accept you," they said in unison, their voices soft but firm. Kael's chest tightened. He glanced at Althea, whose usually stern expression now softened into a rare, approving smile. I accept," he said, feeling the weight of responsibility and the warmth of connection all at once. The court erupted in whispers, but Kael barely noticed. His focus was on the girls, on their trust, their laughter beginning to return, the way their tiny hands fit perfectly in his. Being their mate was not about titles or tradition. It was about protection, care, and a bond deeper than anything he had ever known. As the twin suns rose the next day, Kael walked through the palace gardens with Lyra and Selene. Selene leaned lightly on his shoulder, and Lyra's wing brushed his arm. For the first time, Kael felt he belonged, not as a stranger from another world, but as a part of their lives, their family. From her balcony, Queen Althea watched silently, a faint,